Hi everyone, so today we're going to be discussing Dr. Todd Grande, who has not only committed the cardinal sin of insulting the vegan religion, but he has also made personal attacks against one of our high-ranking cult members, That Vegan Teacher. Now, don't be fooled, Dr. Todd Grande isn't a medical doctor, he only calls himself a doctor because he holds a doctorate degree. Another interesting fact about Todd is that the gap in between his teeth is just wide enough to fit a credit card through. Now, a lot of people think that Todd is a fairly smart guy, and I think I know why. So I've watched a lot of his content over the last few days in preparation for this video, and I have to say this guy is practically brain dead. So what he will often do is he will look for video topics that he thinks will get a lot of attention, a lot of views for his channel that are, going to be spread around in the YouTube algorithm. And often, it's often the case that when he finds video topics like these, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. It's just something that he doesn't know anything about. So what he'll do is he'll do a quick Google search. He will rely on the first few sources that he finds without doing any fact-checking. Then he will present that information that he's literally just copying and regurgitating in this really concise, matter-of-fact way, so it looks like he knows what he's talking about when he really doesn't. And then close to the end of the video, he will give his own really shallow, basic commentary and criticism, and sometimes he doesn't even do that. Again, he doesn't know anything about these topics he's discussing, and he doesn't even really care about them in the first place. So sometimes he doesn't even share his own opinions, he just finds somebody else's opinion online and just copies and regurgitates it, acting as if it's his own thoughts and opinions. Now, he's been able to get away with this for quite some time because most of his audience are just laymen. They don't really know much about these topics that he's discussing, so when they see this guy, presenting information in a very matter-of-fact, clear, concise, calm way, and he claims to be a doctor, they're gonna assume he knows what he's talking about. And this recent video that he made about veganism and That Vegan Teacher perfectly exemplifies this behavior. So Todd chose to talk about veganism and That Vegan Teacher because it is a popular topic right now. A bunch of big YouTubers like iNabber have been talking about That Vegan Teacher. So Todd here, he figured that if he talked about That Vegan Teacher, well, he'd be able to get more views on his YouTube channel and more money. And again, of course, Todd doesn't know anything about veganism. He doesn't know anything about That Vegan Teacher. He obviously doesn't watch her YouTube channel or watch her TikTok, and he barely did any research for this video. He just found a bunch of, random blog articles talking about her that were just spreading misinformation. He didn't bother to fact check any of this, and when he gave his own commentary and criticism, it was not only just ignorant and uninformed, but it was just pure stupidity. So let's watch Dr. Todd Grande embarrass himself.
Today's question is, can I analyze the influencer named That Vegan Teacher? Other questions here would include, does veganism make sense? And is That Vegan Teacher good for veganism? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. She's an advocate for the vegan way of life. She claims to have once worked as a nurse for 25 years, then a school teacher for 9 years, then she quit to make videos on social media.
So as soon as he starts talking about Katie, That Vegan Teacher, he just flat out makes shit up about her. So yes, Katie did quit her job, but she didn't quit her job to make TikTok videos. I don't know where the hell you got that information from. I have not seen any source online, either from random blog articles or from her, that she quit her job to upload videos to TikTok. That is just something that you flat out made up. So congratulations, dude, really showing everyone how well researched your videos are. Yeah, good fact checking, dude.
She is active on TikTok and has over 1.6 million followers. She is also active on other social media platforms, including YouTube, where she has just about 20,000 subscribers. I want to quickly define the term veganism before I go any further because that's an important issue here in this video. There is actually no single agreed upon definition for this lifestyle, but for the most part, vegans believe that it's wrong to consume any products that involve animals. This would obviously include not eating meat, but also they avoid certain consumer goods, including medications for some of them, that are derived from animals or involve animal testing.
So again, this is Todd not knowing what the hell he's talking about and just making up random bullcrap. So Todd, first of all, there is an agreed upon definition of veganism that all vegans agree with. You could have easily looked this up by going to the Vegan Society's website. Veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. And then Todd went on to claim that vegans are against the use of medications, including vaccines, because they either contain animal products or use animal testing. Again, Todd, you don't even know what veganism is. You don't know what it is by definition, and you don't even understand vegan culture. So why are you making these stupid claims? So even if you look on the Vegan Society's website, they encourage the use of medications and vaccines, and they make it a point to state that it is baked into the definition of veganism that we have to make these choices based on whether they're possible or practical. It is not possible or practical to just tell people to not take medications, including vaccines, just kill yourself, even though they save millions of lives. So for Todd to just make this blanket statement and claim that most vegans are against vaccines, that is incredibly ignorant and stupid. Clearly, most vegans aren't against vaccine use, and you didn't bother doing any research for this video. You just came up with random bullshit and didn't bother fact-checking anything. And keep in mind, this is the rigorous research that Todd does for all of his videos. It's just that his audience doesn't bother fact-checking anything he says, but when you do, you find out that Todd is an ignorant moron, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he doesn't bother fact-checking anything. It's funny how you claim that you're gonna criticize veganism in this video when you don't even know what it is.
Moving back to Katie, she releases short videos on TikTok and longer videos on YouTube where she promotes being a vegan through largely disjointed and repetitive monologues and what could loosely be referred to as singing.
I don't even think this guy's smart enough to realize what a hypocrite he is. So it's funny how he's saying this about Katie's content. Oh, it's stupid, it doesn't make any sense, it's worthless. Yeah, buddy, we've already seen the kind of content that you upload. You don't do any research or fact checking. You literally make shit up. You don't even find any sources for your claims. You literally make shit up about people, and then you give commentary that has absolutely zero educational value. Yeah, whose content is stupid?
She is considered to be controversial because of a number of statements that she has made. Here are a few examples. Many are paraphrased. These are not necessarily direct quotes.
So this guy just exposes himself as a fraud. He is flat out admitting that he's not even going to bother directly quoting her and making sure that he's accurately representing her beliefs and opinions. No, I'm just gonna paraphrase some things that I think she said. I heard that from someone that she said this. It doesn't really matter if I accurately represent her beliefs and opinions. Does this sound like a guy who is genuinely interested in having any kind of intellectual discussion on this sort of topic? Or does this sound like a guy who's just shoveling out garbage clickbait content and doesn't want to put any effort into it?
She discusses the dangers of vegan phobia, which she has compared to racism and homophobia.
So this is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier about how this guy's content is just intellectually vacant. He will just copy and regurgitate crap that he found online, and then sometimes he won't even bother giving his own commentary or his own opinions on the subject. So what is the point of you accusing that vegan teacher of being controversial, bringing up a topic of controversy where she claimed that vegans are discriminated against, similarly to how other minority groups are discriminated against, but then you won't give your own opinions? Like, what, do you agree with her? Do you disagree with her? I'm assuming because of the whole tone and context of this video, you disagree with her, but what is your argument? Again, you're accusing her of being just stupid, all of her ideas are disjointed, but you won't even make an argument, and it turns out that she's right. There's actual research proving that vegans are discriminated against, similar to other minority groups. In this study, they found that vegans were evaluated equivalently to immigrants, asexuals, and atheists. Vegans were viewed more negatively than blacks and homosexuals, and surprisingly, the only group that was evaluated more negatively than vegans were drug addicts. There's also other research documenting that a very high percentage of vegans face regular discrimination on an almost daily basis. There are reports of vegan children killing themselves for being bullied for being vegan. Vegan activists have been attacked on the road just for having vegan bumper stickers. Vegans who are practicing their right to free speech and protest in a public area just get attacked without provocation. And I know from my own personal experience that vegan activists, including myself, have been targeted, harassed, and wrongfully arrested by police just for being vegan. So yes, vegans are discriminated against, just like other minority groups are discriminated against. What is your goddamn argument? Again, he's accusing that vegan teacher of being stupid, all her thoughts are just disjointed. What's your argument against her? You can't even come up with a single argument against her, yet you're claiming she's stupid.
She has suggested that when people come out as vegan, it is more special than coming out as a member of the LGBT community, even going as far to say that coming out as a member of the LGBT community is selfish because it is a person only talking about themselves.
So again, not only is this not a direct quote, so it doesn't accurately represent her beliefs or opinions, but on top of that, this whole situation is being taken completely out of context. So Katie has gotten into arguments about vegan discrimination versus discrimination against other minority groups, and this angered some people in the LGBT community. They tried to argue that, coming out as gay is more important and it has a bigger impact than, coming out as vegan and becoming a vegan activist. And Katie argued that no, coming out as vegan and becoming a vegan activist is more important, it's more special because you're doing it for someone else's benefit, you're doing it for the benefit of animals and not yourself, whereas in her mind, coming out as gay is just something you do for your own personal benefit. And it's also important to note that Katie, that vegan teacher, is part of the LGBTQ community. She is bisexual, so when she's talking about this, she's talking from personal experience. So if it is her personal experience as a bisexual woman that, it is more important to her to, be a vegan activist than to come out as gay, that's just ultimately her opinion. Again, I'm not hearing an argument against anything she said, you're just misquoting her, taking things out of context, and not even giving an opinion.
Katie attempted to acknowledge how under certain religious beliefs, coming out can be challenging, but then offered the solution of simply changing religions. Problem solved. Changing religions actually seems to be a theme of Katie's work. In another video, she sings a song indicating people should change their religion if it's not consistent with the values of veganism.
So this is another example of Todd not doing any research, not actually looking up what Katie actually says on her TikTok or YouTube channel, and he literally just did a quick Google search, looked up some of the controversies that she's involved with, and just copied and regurgitated misinformation he found on the internet without doing any fact checking. So yes, Katie does have a song where she talks about changing your religion, but it is to promote critical thinking. She never claimed that you should change your religion if it doesn't fall in line with the ethical principles of veganism. She only said change your religion if it tells you to be cruel. Here's the actual song.
Time to change your religion like you change your underwear. Change your religion, show God that you really care. Change your religion, wanna try something new. Use your critical thinking skills to question all you eat, drink, buy, think, say, and do. Time to change your religion if it tells you to be cruel. Change your religion if it has a strange or crazy rule. Change your religion, wanna be an atheist every Sunday. What's important no matter what is that you don't listen to what all the mean people say. So change your religion like you change your underwear. Change your religion, show God that you really care. Change your religion, wanna try something new. Use your critical thinking skills to question all you eat, drink, buy, think, say, and do. And sing this song and be vegan from now on. Yeah.
So can you tell me one single problem you have with that song or anything she said in that song? She's clearly just trying to promote critical thinking. She's atheist herself, and she's just trying to encourage religious people to think about their beliefs, not be afraid to change their religion, and by that she just means don't be afraid to give up on some of your religious beliefs or practices. And if your religion or anyone else is trying to encourage you to do something that you think is wrong, doesn't make any sense, or is cruel, don't be afraid to challenge those beliefs and do what you know is right. What is the problem with saying that? You are literally criticizing her for promoting critical thinking, and I think I know why. A lack of critical thinking is what gets you views and money on your shit YouTube channel.
Even though Katie says that people should not own pets, she does own a dog named Bella. She claims that she saved her dog from a life of eating meat. So from the dog's perspective, this is otherwise known as saving it from a life of being happy.
Again, this is another example of how Todd doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't do any research, he doesn't understand what veganism is, and he doesn't even bother understanding the beliefs of Katie, that vegan teacher who he's criticizing. So Katie never claimed that owning a pet is wrong. She claimed the pet industry is wrong. So if you understood what veganism is, you'd understand that vegans are against exploitation. It is exploitative to force animals to breed and then sell them for a profit. So long as you get your pet from a non-exploitative source, like if you were to adopt a dog from an animal shelter, that is ethically fine under the ethical principles of veganism. So again, you don't understand what veganism is, and this is what caused this confusion. It's funny how you claim that vegan teacher's beliefs are ridiculous, nonsensical, disjointed, and you don't even understand what those beliefs are, you moron. And I also took a look at your credentials. I noticed you didn't go to veterinary school, you didn't study canine nutrition, so care to provide any evidence that if a dog eats a vegan diet, they are automatically miserable? The largest dog food companies on the planet, Royal Canin and Purina, make vegan dog food formulas because some dogs are allergic to formulas that include meat. There are hypoallergenic dog formulas that are vegan friendly, that are perfectly nutritionally adequate, and dogs can thrive and be happy. Royal Canin and Purina aren't the only dog food brands. I feed my dog Natural Balance vegan formula. And yeah, dude, dogs aren't the pickiest eaters. Have you ever had just normal dog food? Have you ever tasted it? It tastes like shit. It's not hard to formulate dog food that tastes good enough for a dog to eat it. So I don't know why you're concerned about a dog being miserable on a vegan diet when you're not a veterinarian, you've never studied canine nutrition, and dogs like eating vegan food and they can be perfectly healthy eating it, you idiot. Again, what research did you do for this video? You are coming up with complete bullshit claims, yet you're calling that vegan teacher stupid. Who looks stupid now, dumbass?
Katie said she used to be an organ donor, but she changed her mind because she realized how despicable society was. So her stance is about being against people as much as it is being for some type of value.
So this is a completely brain-dead take that it makes no sense. So Todd is now claiming that that vegan teacher is anti-humanity because she's choosing not to donate her organs. Well, in order to be anti-humanity, I'd imagine that you would have to cause harm to humanity. How does it cause harm to humanity to not donate your organs? It is the act of not doing anything. Not donating your organs is neither helpful nor harmful. So it is neutral, it is just a personal choice she is making. You can't accuse her of being anti-humanity. That is absolutely stupid. And on top of that, you're acting as if it's unreasonable for her to make this choice, based on her idea that, a lot of humanity is despicable and there's a good chance that she could donate her organs to a horrible person. Well, keep in mind that she is being doxxed. People on the internet leaked her address, and then people actually showed up to her house to attack and harass her. People have thrown meat and eggs and other objects at her house, and people have even tried to attack her dog and steal her dog. She is being mistreated at her work. She's being discriminated against by so many people. So when most of the people she interacts with, most of the interactions she's had with other people are negative and they're discriminating against her and treating her like shit just for being vegan, gee, no wonder she doesn't want to donate her organs. If there's a high likelihood that her organs would go to saving some asshole who would treat her like shit, why would she want to donate her organs? And on top of that, she has a very valid, reasonable explanation for why she doesn't want to donate her organs, besides most people just being assholes.
Before becoming a teacher, a school teacher, I worked as a nurse for 25 years. And I always talked about the importance of signing our organ donor cards. But this year, for the first time in my life, I have decided not to sign it. And here's why. I realize how despicable society is, how many evil people are out there, especially since coming to TikTok even more so. And I've decided that there's no way on earth that I want any of you to ever get my organs if I die. The only people I would ever want would be vegan animal rights activists, because I will give those organs to those people and I know they will not be murdering animals to put into that body that would have been saved. The rest of you will just continue to live and keep murdering animals. So I just wanted to let you know that it's really disappointing, but it's come to this.
So not only do most people treat her like crap, but on top of that, most people support the torture and murder of innocent animals. Imagine if you were in her position and you knew that if you donated your organs, chances are the person you're donating your organs to would treat you like crap, and on top of that, they torture and murder innocent animals. What if this person tortured and murdered cats and dogs? Would you want to prolong that person's life, someone who'd treat you like crap and tortures and murders innocent animals like cats and dogs? What if they also murdered cows, chickens, pigs? Oh yeah, you seeing the perspective here? So I think her position is perfectly reasonable. I don't know why anyone would want to save the life of someone who'd treat them like crap and also tortures and murders animals. So I'm not seeing a valid argument here. All you've done is made this nonsensical personal attack against her, claiming she's anti-humanity when she's no such thing. She just doesn't like most people. She doesn't like what most people do. And if she doesn't want to help anyone like that, then she has every right not to. So again, you are accusing her of being stupid, her thoughts and opinions are illogical, disjointed, you don't even understand any of her thoughts and opinions, you don't even criticize any of her thoughts and opinions, you just make ridiculous personal attacks against her. So who's the idiot here?
In one video, Katie attempts to answer the question about choosing between the life of a child and a cow. She does suggest that it's a complex question and difficult to answer, but she also said that she would want to know how old the child and the cow were and whether or not the child ate meat.
So again, this is not a direct quote. This doesn't represent what Katie actually said, so here's the actual video in question.
What's the point in asking me that question? Are you trying to trap me in some way? The comments below will say, CEO of not answering the question, or she never answers the question. These are complex matters that cannot be answered in a 60-second video, especially given that you do not give me any context. Anti-speciesists try to do the least harm. These are very difficult things to answer. I would weigh out all of the circumstances. Also, is there a burning building involved? Do I have to make a decision like that? Or do I have time to find out, who is this child? What kind of cow is this? How old is the cow? How old is the child? How much meat does this child consume?
So all she said in this video was that she's interested in causing the least amount of harm. So depending on the circumstances of the situation, she'd choose to save either the child or the cow based on what would cause the least amount of harm. So if she had the choice between saving like a severely mentally disabled child that is only going to live for another couple years because of some deformity or birth defect, she'd probably save the cow's life because the cow would be able to experience a greater amount of well-being throughout the rest of its life. Whereas, okay, if you had to choose between saving a normal human baby versus a cow, then yeah, it'd probably make more sense to save the human baby because it would be able to experience more well-being throughout its life. So, is anything about this unreasonable? Like just stating that you want to cause the least amount of harm? You didn't even bother to actually respond to her thoughts and opinions. All you did was misquote her, take her out of context in an attempt to make her look insane. Well, who looks stupid now, jackass? Does this sound like a guy who's interested in having an honest intellectual discussion? Or just some idiot who figured, oh yeah, this is an easy way to get some views and money on YouTube?
Katie appears to make videos directly to people sometimes. For example, she made a video where she spoke directly to Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas is an influencer with around 4 or 5 million subscribers on YouTube. She has a lot of dramatic and nonsensical content. Katie said that she noticed Paytas was eating food from McDonald's in a TikTok video. This was one of Trisha Paytas's TikTok videos. Seeing Paytas do this was disturbing to Katie. So just so I understand this, of all the things that Paytas does, this is what bothered Katie.
Seeing as how Trisha Paytas' diet is the only aspect of her life and behavior that causes suffering and death, it is perfectly reasonable for Katie to prioritize criticizing Trisha's diet, since Trisha's, other behavior, like her being annoying, attention-seeking, that doesn't cause anyone to suffer and die. Only her diet does that. So why is it unreasonable for Katie to prioritize criticizing Trisha Paytas' diet? Again, you're not actually coming up with an argument. You're just saying, oh, this is ridiculous. What good is your PhD? What good is your schooling if you have absolutely no critical thinking skills and you actually can't come up with an argument?
This is like saying what makes Charles Manson bad is the fact that he maintains inappropriately intense eye contact.
And once again, this guy exposes himself as a moron and a fraud. So on the one hand, he has a problem with Katie focusing on the fact that Trisha Paytas' diet causes the torture and murder of animals, but then he analogizes this to, focusing on Charles Manson's inappropriate eye contact rather than focusing on his violent behavior. Well, okay, if we should focus on someone's violent behavior, then isn't Katie doing exactly what she's supposed to do? What aspect of Trisha's lifestyle or behavior causes violence? Only her diet. Has Trisha ever attacked anyone? Has she ever murdered anyone? Has she ever tortured anyone? No, only her diet does that. Again, this isn't an argument, this is just you being stupid.
Katie admonished Trisha by saying, you know the life you're living right now, all the fame and all the stuff, is shallow and superficial. It's going to come crashing down one day, and then where are you going to be? Katie is trying to provide Paytas meaning in her life, give her a higher purpose, free her from the bonds of wealth and fame, and help her to discover the world of poverty and ridicule. Who wouldn't take that deal?
Notice again how he's not actually coming up with an argument, he's just making a personal attack against That Vegan Teacher, claiming, if you eat plants, you're going to be poor. What sense does that make? What, if I start eating potatoes and broccoli, am I going to lose all my money suddenly? Please explain to me how this works.
It's hard to escape the irony that Katie is notorious for the same reason as Paytas. People just want to know what they're going to do next. It's not about logical or quality content. It's deliberately about nonsense.
You are the biggest hypocrite imaginable. It's clear that the only reason you uploaded this video was to get attention and money on YouTube. It has zero intellectual value. You didn't do any research, any fact checking. You don't know anything about veganism. You don't know anything about That Vegan Teacher Katie. You completely misrepresented her views and opinions, and you didn't even attempt to respond to or criticize a single statement she has ever made. All you have done up until now is make baseless personal attacks against her, and you claim to be an educated person with a PhD. So I guess that makes you guilty of the same thing you're accusing Katie of. Rather than making intellectually stimulating content, you're just uploading stupid trash that you know will get you attention and money. And Todd, if you had any interest in actually having an intellectual discussion on this topic, why haven't you responded to my email? It's been over a week. I challenged you to a debate. I also left a comment on your video, and I also tried to contact you through Twitter. Nope, haven't heard a peep from this guy. So you just made this video to get some attention and money on YouTube, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, and you actually avoid debates with people because you know you'd make an absolute fool of yourself. All you're interested in is attention and money, yet you criticize Katie for only being interested in attention and money. I think this is projecting, right? You'd know since you're a mental health professional, huh?
Katie often talks about how nobody has critical thinking skills or the ability to think for themselves. So here we see she uses the words nobody has when she probably meant I don't have.
Your entire video is an ad hominem attack. You have not responded to a single statement she has ever made, yet you're claiming she has no critical thinking skills. Please tell me, everyone in the comment section who's watched up until now, who seems smarter, that vegan teacher Katie or this idiot who can't even make an argument?
Katie also appears to anthropomorphize animals. For example, she said that pigs beg for their lives before they are killed.
So this is another example of Todd not knowing what the hell he's talking about, and I'm not entirely sure if he knows what anthropomorphize means. I think he's trying to claim that Katie is attributing human characteristics to animals when they don't have those characteristics. So in Todd's mind, an animal like a pig cannot beg and plead for its life before it's killed. So in most countries, before animals are actually killed, they get their throats slit open. They are stunned, and the most common stunning method for pigs to render them unconscious before they get their throats slit open is CO2 gassing. So they're basically rendered unconscious with CO2 gas. It's actually one of the most painful and terrifying experiences you can possibly face. And pigs will scream and try to do everything they can to get out of that situation. It is an extremely traumatic experience. And there's also research on how painful and traumatic CO2 gas chambers are for these animals. So there was a study conducted on a pig where it was fed in a CO2 gas chamber for several days so that the animal would become accustomed to the chamber and it would associate that chamber with a positive experience like eating. They ended up gassing the pig with CO2, and as you can tell from the footage, it is in extreme pain and terror, and it is kicking around and screaming and trying to do everything it can to get out of that situation. They didn't kill the pig, they resuscitated it, and they allowed it to choose whether or not it wanted to go back in the chamber, and they tried to coax it in with food. The pig refused. The pig was so terrified of reliving that experience again that it would starve itself just so that it wouldn't have to go through the experience of being gassed with CO2 again. Now, I'm sure those of you who have ever owned a pet like a dog, you know that these animals are intelligent enough to communicate with you if they want something. Dogs will beg for things. They will beg for food, or they will beg to go on a bed or a couch, or they'll beg to go outside if they need to pee or poop. If an animal is in distress, it can communicate this to you and beg for you to help them. Now, considering that pigs are even more intelligent than dogs, do you think it is out of the question that these pigs, who are screaming in horrible pain and agony and terror, are trying to communicate to you that they want help, that they don't want to be killed? You asshole.
Considering everything that Katie does, I think it's fair to say that she teaches people. Specifically, she teaches them how to be annoying and aggravate thousands of people on TikTok. Unfortunately, it's a skill that a lot of people already have.
Yeah, you're telling me, pal, I didn't even have to watch your videos for you to annoy me. Your face just pisses me off.
Katie once said that there is animal abuse, but there is also such a thing as human abuse. One might argue that her behavior on TikTok is a case in point. The people exposed to her videos are the humans being abused.
Aren't you an adult? Aren't you capable of choosing not to watch content that you don't like on the internet? It's funny how you call Katie stupid when I'm pretty sure she's smart enough to just not watch videos that she doesn't like, but apparently you're too stupid to do that. Are you mentally disabled? Do you need a parent or a carer to monitor your internet use so that you don't come across videos that you don't like?
So moving to the next question, is veganism logical? The main argument of vegans is that they don't want animals to be harmed or exploited, although there are other reasons somebody becomes a vegan. For example, they may believe that the lifestyle imparts some type of physical or mental health benefit.
So again, this guy doesn't understand what veganism is. Veganism is an ethical belief and way of living. It is not just a diet. Somebody isn't vegan just because they're eating plant-based for health reasons. So just wanted to clear that up.
In the United States, about 4% of the population are vegetarian, and about half of them are also vegan. There are risks associated with the vegan diet, and maybe some benefits as well. It would be incorrect to believe that being vegan is automatically healthier. For some people, it would be, and for others, it may not be. Many people cannot sustain a vegan diet because they need the nutrients from some of the banned foods, or they cannot tolerate some of the food substitutes required to be vegan, like wheat, soy, and peanuts.
And it will come as no surprise that everything Todd just said was stupid, didn't make any sense, and he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. So first, Todd claimed that not everyone can be healthy eating a vegan diet. Well, Todd, there is no one vegan diet. There are many different ways to eat vegan. You even acknowledged this at the beginning of your statement. You said that, just because you're eating plant-based, that doesn't necessarily mean you're eating healthy. You can choose to eat a lot of junk foods on a vegan diet, and you can choose to eat a lot of healthy foods on a vegan diet. So long as you choose to eat healthy options, and you have a balanced diet getting in all of your nutrition, you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. There is no disease or medical condition that would require someone to consume animal products. I would love for you to provide evidence otherwise, which clearly you cannot. And you can refer to the American Dietetics Association, the largest organization of nutrition professionals on the planet. They have released a public peer-reviewed statement stating that vegan diets are suitable for all stages of the life cycle, from pregnancy to adulthood. They're even suitable for athletes, and vegan diets have health benefits where vegans have a lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, and certain forms of cancer. So Todd, everyone can be healthy on a vegan diet and lifestyle so long as you plan your nutrition out appropriately. This claim you made is just completely baseless. You didn't provide any evidence for your claims. Then Todd claimed that there are certain nutrients that you can only get from meat. So some people have to eat meat to get those nutrients. Todd didn't name these nutrients. So I'm going to assume he has no idea of what he's talking about. You can get every single nutrient you need on a plant-based diet. Todd did not provide any evidence. He didn't even bother naming the nutrients that he thinks you can only get from meat. So I'm going to assume this is just another issue. This is another topic that he knows nothing about, and he's literally making shit up. Then Todd claimed that on a vegan diet, you have to eat wheat, soy, and peanuts. So if anyone is allergic to those foods, they can't be vegan. Okay, Todd, where the hell did you get this idea that you have to eat wheat, soy, or peanuts in order to be vegan? Are you claiming that if I didn't eat bread, I would die? Okay, so are people who are gluten intolerant who are vegan, are they gonna end up dying? Where did you get this idea, Todd? So I did a little bit of digging, and it looks like some of the articles talking about That Vegan Teacher, they actually talk about this in the article, that some people can't go vegan because they have wheat allergies or soy allergies or nut allergies. I think that's where Todd got this idea. He just looked up stupid blog articles about That Vegan Teacher, read through them, and found a section that says, oh yeah, if you're allergic to wheat or bread or something, you can't go vegan. And he just thought that was true. Again, this is the level of research and fact-checking that Todd does for his videos, yet he calls That Vegan Teacher stupid. And I mean, just look at the guy. Does Todd look like the type of person who's concerned about his nutrition and health? I'd say no. I'm pretty sure his only concern with when he's planning on what to eat is whether or not what he's eating contains cheese or sour cream. Like, compare him to That Vegan Teacher. I'm pretty sure she's more concerned with her nutrition and health, and it shows. She's almost 10 years older than him, and she could run circles around the guy, yet he's making a video criticizing her, claiming her diet isn't healthy for everyone. Yeah, you're one to talk, Todd.
Moving away from the idea of health and over to caring for animals, does the vegan lifestyle actually accomplish the goal of protecting animals? Well, it may work toward that goal for some animals, but many products that vegans consume, like vegetables, fruits, and nuts, are grown using products that hurt animals, like pesticides. Rabbits, birds, mice, and other animals are killed to protect agriculture.
So Dr. Todd here did another dum-dum. Far more animals are killed to produce meat and animal products compared to plant products. So if you want to reduce the amount of animal suffering and death you contribute to, clearly you should eat more plants and eat less meat. Todd then claimed that, forests are being cut down, wild animals are being killed to produce foods like soybeans. Well, Todd, the main reason for the increase in demand for soy is because we're feeding soy to livestock animals like cattle. So if this is a concern for you, you should stop eating meat. And in fact, meat is the #1 cause of deforestation. And the UN, in their latest climate report, actually went over this. If you turn to chapter 5, page 76, they talk about how if we were to switch to a completely 100% plant-based food system, we would be able to produce more food while using less land. So Todd, if the goal is to reduce the amount of animals that are killed, reduce our environmental impact, clearly living a vegan diet and lifestyle, better option.
Also, the use of animal products is so integrated into the supply chain that avoiding them altogether is nearly impossible.
So this is a completely ridiculous argument. He's essentially saying that because we do things this way now, there's no way to change. You could use this argument to support slavery. Okay, well, at one point, our economy was reliant on slavery. So clearly, it would have been impossible to get rid of slavery, right? It's just nonsense. So, buddy, I don't think the entire world is going to collapse once we stop killing horses to make glue.
Outside of these difficulties, the philosophy also has difficulty retaining members. Over 80% of people who attempt to live a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle abandon it.
So Todd is referring to the Phonolytic study on current and former vegetarians and vegans. This is the study where people bring up that figure, 84% of vegans quit the diet. And it seems that Todd didn't even bother reading the study because what he just said was just stupid. So if you actually read the study and go to the methodology section, they clearly state, plain as day, that they weren't actually looking at whether or not people are vegan and quit the lifestyle. They were only looking at their diets. So they asked a question on whether or not people are eating strictly plant-based. This study had nothing to do with adherence to a vegan lifestyle. They were only looking at diet. So when you look at these figures and you see, oh wow, 84% of vegans, quit after just a few years, that's not actually what the study is showing. The study is only showing that, okay, people who are following a plant-based diet, they tend to quit after a short period of time. And when you look at the actual figures, the majority of people quit eating plant-based before a year ends. So most of those people probably don't identify as vegan. They're probably just eating plant-based. So the study doesn't even claim what you think it claims. You didn't do any research or fact-checking. Currently, there isn't any good research showing that vegans have a hard time adhering to the lifestyle. The only research this Phonolytic study shows that, okay, a lot of people who try eating plant-based end up quitting. That's it. And this is also completely tangential to whether or not veganism makes any logical sense, whether or not it's a moral responsibility. So Todd, you're just bringing up a completely irrelevant point. Like, it's funny how you criticize That Vegan Teacher for being, so illogical, her, videos don't make any sense. Todd, you don't make any goddamn sense.
Now moving to the last question. Is Katie good for veganism? So is That Vegan Teacher really helping her cause? Katie is a militant activist for veganism. This strategy almost always backfires. Her tactics are based on brute force, illogical statements, and nonsensical criticism.
Everything you just said is a flat-out lie, and it's become blatantly obvious that you have never watched a single one of her TikTok videos. You're calling her militant and uses brute force. Yeah, let's go to her TikTok. She's just this sweet old lady who sings silly songs about helping animals, you know, being vegan. Sometimes she, you know, plays on her ukulele. She dances a lot, does, you know, silly characters. She'll show her food, her pets. What's militant about that? What's brute force about that? You, on the other hand, this video was nothing but bullying. You flat out lied about her. You made personal attacks against her. Who's using brute force? Who's being militant here? It's you lying hypocrite. And then to top it off, you claim that Katie makes illogical statements and nonsensical criticisms. When? How? Show me one single example. Show me one example of Katie ever doing this. You clearly have not watched one single video she ever made, and you're just making up flat out lies and bullshit about her because you couldn't be bothered to do any research for your video, and you just made this video to get quick and easy attention and money on YouTube. Like, dude, even when you've misquoted her and you think you're repeating something that she said, you didn't even come up with a response. All you did was make a personal attack against her, yet you're calling her illogical and nonsensical. No, you're the one who's guilty of this, jackass.
In order to promote veganism, she attacks other value systems. Therefore, she's making more enemies than she's making friends. It is a simplistic, primitive, and paradoxical strategy.
She does not attack other value systems to promote veganism. Show me one single example of her doing this. Again, you have not watched a single one of her videos. You have not watched any of her content. You are making up flat-out lies and bullshit.
Those are my thoughts on That Vegan Teacher.
No, those weren't your thoughts. You were just shitting out of your mouth so you can get attention and money on YouTube. But if you want to embarrass yourself any further, I'd be more than happy to debate you in front of a live audience on veganism and related subtopics. But I'm assuming you're going to decline because you're neither interested nor capable of having any kind of intellectual discussion or debate. And if you like this video, maybe consider supporting me on Patreon or through my website. I have some funding perks you may find interesting. If you're looking for clothing, then check out the Vegan Gain store. And if you're looking for vegan pet food, then check out Vigor. They have a wide selection of vegan cat and dog food, and if you click the link in the description and use the discount code, you can get 10% off of any order. And if you're looking for online coaching, then check out Quality Gains. He offers customized meal and training programs. And if you click the link in the description, you can get a free ebook. And of course, and as always, keep making those vegan gains.
What a relief! When will this poisonous product cease? This is another public service announcement. You can believe it or you can doubt it. Let us begin now with the cow. The way it gets to your plate and how.